Okay, so now we move on to installation of BTCPay Server. Now, the method that I'm going to be doing is the manual deployment method, which is not really recommended, but because BTCPay Server recommends the Docker installation method, where it's all coded up for you and everything just works straight out of the box. But you can't use the existing node that you already have. You'd start downloading Bitcoin and all the transactions from scratch again. So we're going to be doing the manual deployment. So the way that we do that is just go to btcpayserver.org. BTCPayServer is a fantastic project. It's an open source self-hosted payment processor that allows you to essentially start earning Bitcoin. So if we go into the docs here, okay, and it's got a deployment method, so choosing a deployment method, we're going to go down with the manual deployment, okay, and it says here, warning, not recommended to use in production. Manual installation is not recommended in production. It should only be used for learning purposes. Instead, you should use the Docker deployment. The Docker deployment will provide you with an easy update system and make sure that all moving parts are wired correctly without any technical knowledge. It will also set up HTTPS for you. So it really is a nice package, the Docker, and it's got nice updates and all those sorts of, it's very feature rich as compared to the manual installation, which doesn't have all the features, but we can still use this very, very effectively using the manual method. So we'll go down to the bottom of this and we'll use a guide here that's from freedomnode.com. Now, I'm going to suggest a couple of more different edits as we go along, and I'll make a note of that as well. Okay, so we'll just open up a terminal and we'll go into the downloads directory as it suggests. So there we go. And then we need to install this .NET Core SDK. So basically, let's just go through what we're going to be doing. We're going to install some dependencies. We're going to install this .NET Core SDK. We're going to download a software called NBXplorer. And then we are going to install a database, and then we will install BTCPay Server. Okay, so that's essentially what we're doing here. Okay, so going back up, we're going to get the Microsoft packages. So let's copy that, paste that through, and copy this, paste this through, and copy this, paste this, and copy, paste. Okay, so now we'll just install this. I think we've already installed this, but let's see if there's anything there. Okay, already got it. We'll update. Now, in our update, we might see some packages from Ubuntu, which we can see from Microsoft, sorry. So those are there, okay? And then what we're going to do is a little bit something different to what's in this guide here. We're going to install 2.1 first, and then we're going to install 3.1. And the reason is because NBXplorer right now supports 3.1, so when we build this, we'll be using 3.1, but BTCPay Server has not yet updated to 3.1, so we'll still also need the 2.1 environment as well. So we're going to install both. Okay, so we're going to go copy this, paste that through, but we're going to install 2.1 first. Okay, yes. Okay, so now we have .NET and we can see the version that we have is 2.1. Now we'll also go .NET-info and we can see here that we only have host in the as version 2.1. Now we're going to install 3.1 as well. So we'll just copy this and paste it again. So we'll get 3.1 going as well. Okay, now in the future, when BTCPay Server upgrades to 3.1, you won't need the 2.1 package to do this. Okay, so now when we go .NET info, we have 3.1 and 2.1 installed. So both are installed there. Okay. Now we want to install NBXplorer. So let's do that. Now we're not going to make it into this source directory. We're just going to simply download it into our home directory where the rest of all of our stuff is. So we're going to clone the NBXplorer. So copy that, paste that, and we'll go into our Explorer here as well, our file manager. And we should see ultimately an .NBXplorer coming through a little bit later. Then we'll just cd into there, and then it's literally build.sh. Okay, and I think I just saw it pop up there. No. Oh, a new folder. Yeah, didn't see it. Okay. Okay, so build succeeded. Excellent. Now we're going to make a directory in our home folder called .NBXplorer. So we'll do that. And in there will also be another folder called main. And then in there we're going to build a file called settings.config. Okay, so we are going to change, not do exactly what this tutorial is saying, but we'll just say, okay, well, in this particular file, so cd, so we want cd nbx.nbxexplorer main, and then we're going to sudo nano settings.config. Okay, so we can put that through in there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to copy this, and we don't have a username and password for our Bitcoin. We use a cookie file for authentication, so it's going to be BTC cookie path. Hold on, let me just get that. Okay, so the next line that we're going to add is BTC RPC cookie file, okay, equals /home /Catan /.bitcoin /.cookie, okay, and we're also going to add in bind equals 0.0.0.0. Okay, so that's another command that we're going to do. Okay, so we'll Control X out of there and save that, and now we have a file called settings.config in this .NBXexplorer main. Okay, now we are going to test if this has all been set up properly. So we're going to copy this. So we'll just go back into our root directory. our home directory. And the thing that we need to change is this is now going to be 3.1, and it's not source. That's not where we've downloaded it. We've downloaded it in home and then NBXplorer. Okay, so that's where the difference lies in this particular command. So let's have a look and see if that works. Okay, so it's connected up. Okay, so now we have the node state changed, NBXplorer syncing to ready. So that's fantastic. We are happy with everything, and it's looking like everything is tested, or everything is looking good. So we'll Control C out of there and shut that down. Now what we want to do is make sure that NBXplorer is starting up on startup. So we're going to grab a service file. So we're going to get this particular file into cd etc systemd system. Okay, and we're going to get this into that directory, into that folder there. So file paste. Okay, we're going to nano that, and we're going to change a few things around. Okay, so the execute start will be usrbin.net home Catan, not source. Okay, it will be 3.1, and we are going to use Catan.nbexplorer main settings config. User will be me, and group will be me. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. So we will Control X and Y out of that to save that. Okay. Then we're going to enable it. So sudo systemctl enable NBXplorer .service. That's been enabled, and then we'll start. Okay. Now let's have a look at the status just to see if we're okay. And it looks like it's ready here as well. Okay, so we can see and keep scrolling, and it's similar to the outcomes that we had when we first installed it. So now that is now ready to start up after Bitcoin starts. Okay. Now we need to move on to install a basically a database that BTCPay Server will read. So we're going to install some packages here. So let's do that. Okay, excellent. We're going to now sign in as a user Postgres. Okay, and we're going to create a new database. So we'll copy that and paste that. Okay. So enter the name of the role to add. So I'm just going to put my name. So we can see here what needs to happen. And then the password, I'm just going to put in my password as the password and type that in again, my password. Okay. Shall the new role be a super user? It says here no, so we'll do that. Shall the new role be allowed to create databases? Yes. And shall the new role be allowed to create more new roles? No. Okay, so that is now done. Now we will create a new database. So we'll copy this command here, and instead of Satoshi, we will change that to my username that we created earlier. Okay. And now it says if you see no exit, no errors, exit the shell. So let's exit out of there. Okay, so now we are good to install BTCPay Server. We will first navigate to our home directory and we will clone the repository. So let's do that. Okay, and then we will cd into the BTCPay Server folder and we will build.sh, but we're going to sudo build.sh. Okay. Okay, it says build succeeded. Fantastic. We're going to now create a folder, a hidden folder. So we'll create that. And then we will also go into that folder. So change directory into that folder. It's a .btcpayserver folder, so a hidden folder. And we are going to create a settings file. So we'll open that. And we will nano settings.config. Okay, and we are going to copy and paste here, this part here. No need to worry about the BTC Lightning because we're going to do that separately. And we're going to put in the Postgres line in there. So that whole line looks something like that. We're going to put in our username and password for the database that we created. So that is Catan, and the password that I had was my password. Okay, now we're going to save that. So Control X, Y for yes, I want to save, and Enter for saving that. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move away from the guide, and we're going to go and run this BTCPay server just to see if it works. So let's have a look here at the main BTCPay server in our home folder. So that is our home BTCPay server, not the .btcpay server, so the home BTCPay server. And in here, you will see a run.sh. So we are going to run.sh and see what happens. Okay, so that now looks good, and for the first time we can start to look into 23001 localhost in our web interface, in our Firefox, and have a look. We have now got a BTCPay server. Okay, so that's cool. The next thing that we need to do is make sure that this is auto running. Okay, so I am going to close out of this by pressing Control C in the terminal. Okay, so you'll see there that it was listening on port 23001. That's the port there for BTCPay Server now. Okay. Now that will disappear because the server's no longer up. So what we're going to do now is get the systemctl service file. So cd etc systemd system, and we're going to wget the BTCPay server service file. So we'll copy that, paste it through. Okay, sudo we'll nano that, sudo nano BTCPay server dot service, and we're going to need to edit some stuff here. Okay, So the first thing that we're going to edit is this particular line, execute start. It's home, Catan, no source, straight into BTCPay Server, and that. The user is me again, so we'll do that. We'll control X, Y, and save. We'll enable it. Enable BTCPay Server .service, and we'll sudo systemctl start BTCPay Server. Okay. So now when we go back here, we'll just look at the status to see how we're going. Okay, looks good, and it's listing, so that's fantastic. And then when we go here, we can now look at our BTCPay Server instance on our local machine. That's awesome. Okay, so we can control C out of there, and the BTCPay Server is still running in the background. Now what you can do is create an account, so you can put in an email, whatever it is. So, you know, .com, and put in a password, so maybe just hello@hello.com, and then password hello, and then password hello again. Oh, 6 characters. Okay, so hello 123, and then hello 123. Create an account and save. Okay, so now we have a BTCPay server. I would encourage you to play around with your BTCPay server, see what it can do. The first thing you probably want to do is open up create a new store, and then develop some apps. So I'll quickly go into that. So we'll create a new store. Let's say we want a tea shop. Okay, we'll create that. And then here we have some general settings that we can apply. Now, the way that you would kind of pick a wallet for people to pay you with, there's a lot of configuration details that you can sort of play around with, but typically what we want is a wallet. Okay, the wallet we can use by inserting the derivation path, or the xpub or the ypub, or the zpub of the wallet that we want. So have a look at this. So we'll go into modify here, and we can put in a derivation scheme. We can import from various places as well, and we can put in our extended public keys in through here as well. So you can see all the examples of formats that are appropriate to pay into. Okay, so the way that you'd get that out of your Trezor is if you go into your wallet, into your Electrum wallet, you can open up your Trezor that we earlier alluded to, and we can go into wallet information, and here is the ypub. So we'll copy this and we'll paste it into there. Okay, and we'll continue. Now it'll spit out all the addresses that are already there. Sorry, your top addresses. So if you have a look, you can confirm that with the addresses here. So you'll see here that there's a VC1TD, so VC1TD, 44C8, 44C8, so on, so forth, and it goes down to the 9 addresses. So it just checks that you have those addresses. Help us to find the correct settings by telling us the first address of your wallet. So I'm just going to copy this address and paste that in and confirm. Okay, address is successfully found. Please verify that the rest is correct and click on confirm. So there you have it there, and we will confirm that. Okay, so now everyone's just going to, whenever you receive funds, it will go directly into your Trezor. Okay, now if you wanted Lightning Network, what you can do is modify the Lightning Network. Because we do have Lightning Network set up in here, we can use this particular type to paste in. So it's Unix. It'll be home Catan.lightning/Bitcoin/Lightning RPC, and then we can test the connection there, and it says connection to the Lightning node succeeded. Fantastic, and we can submit. Okay, so now this store will accept transactions Bitcoin on chain onto our Trezor, and Lightning onto our C Lightning Spark wallet. Okay, so that's quite good. Okay, and so that's now set up a T shop here. Okay, and so you can go back into the settings and have a look through there. What you really want now is the apps. So we can create a new app, and we can call it, say for example, T shop again, and it will be a point of sale terminal, and we can create a using the T shop store that we previously created. So we'll create that and make it, say for example, AUD for where I am, enable the shopping cart maybe. I don't want tips and I don't want a user to put in custom amounts, and we can sell these types of products. We can edit these products, we can edit the images. These are the ones that are already just sort of in there just to show you, and then there's all these other settings that you can sort of look through on your own, and we can save settings. Okay, and then we will view app. Okay, now what we can do is say, all right, well, I want this green tea, I want this herbal tea, and I want this whatever that tea is, and we can confirm. And it's $4, so we'll just pay that. And BTCPay Server will now tell us that we need to pay to this QR code here. And you'll see here it's 3M VC1TD, so it's just going to go straight into there. The next one, the next order that comes through will be this next address, and it'll just keep going through and recycling the addresses like that. Okay. Now with our Lightning Network node, we can go over to our Lightning, and this will be the Lightning Network invoice that we can pay. So if you copy this and open up your Spark wallet and pay that address, it will show you that it's paid to the T shop, and you can pay that. I don't have any channels open, and I don't have any funds, so that's how you would pay that order. Okay. Now, that's a basic functionality of how the BTCPay server works. There's also other things, so our wallet T shop, it's got our invoices as well in there, and yeah, so you can sort of manage all those things. There's payment requests as well, so if you want to create a new payment request for someone, and then they can pay you there. Okay, so just feel free to explore around. There's theme changes that you can do. You can make it look like Cass's nice and purple, or you can go back to the classic. There's a lot of things that you can explore around in your BTCPay server. So what we'll do now is move on to, I guess, exposing this to the world in a secure way. So stick around for that. I'll do that in the next video, but basically that's your BTCPay server now that you can sort of explore and get comfortable with. Okay.